Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Today I am doing a once a year thing. I guess this is becoming. The green screen means one thing. It is time for a very raw, very real update on everything bookish related in my life: writing, editing, book reviewing, publishing. And I know it's super late at night. It's like 10 p.m. where I am. It may not be so late where you are. So if you're tuning in live, thank you for watching. And if you never seen me before, I'm Katherine. I'm a USA Today bestselling author. I launched my debut, The Vow That Twisted Fate, in 2021. Indie by choice. I'm a pitch coach and a developmental editor for a day job, but I decided that indie was how I wanted to go for my books. And in 2022, that paid off when Splitting Dawn hit the USA Today bestseller list in the Realm of Darkness box set with a bunch of other amazing books and authors. And it's a full-length novel. It's a nice, big, thick, epic fantasy. So that's sort of who I am. And in 2023, after hitting the USA Today bestseller list, I was on a roll. I started launching the Lord's Gambit series, and then the first green screen, real, raw review of the year hit this channel when I lost my file for book 3 of that series, and everything came to a screeching halt. And part of my reason for starting this channel was to be open and honest about everything that goes into being a successful indie author, which includes ripping off the mask of our highlight reels that we really share on social media a lot. And I try to balance not being whiny or gripey with also telling things the way that I have experienced them. And this is my personal experience. So today I want to give you guys an update, especially the readers and fellow writers who have been supporting me and watching for the last year, and let you know what's coming in 2024, what's in the works, and answer any questions that you may have. So let's start with the easiest one, which is the book reviews. Long before I published books of my own, I was a book reviewer. And I'm actually a Reezy Discovery book reviewer, or was for a couple of years. Went very high up. Thank you so much to everybody whose upvotes on the reviews that I did got me into the top 10 on Reezy Discovery for reviewers. I've been honored to read books requested by several authors, and it's just amazing to me because I know people consider me a blatantly honest reviewer. And I don't always give out a lot of 5-star reviews. I think I gave out less than 20 in 2022. Last year, I think I gave out a little under 30. But now that I'm an author myself, and especially holding the USA Today bestseller on my book history for my own work, I've become very burdened to be as unbiased as possible and fair as possible with my book reviews. So I've changed how I'm going to approach book reviewing in 2024. First up is I am not going to be accepting ARCs from authors to review their books. I feel like I'm blessed to be able to afford the books that I read. These authors pour their heart and time and soul into these books, and I'm going to be leaving them a blatantly honest review regardless. So I will be personally purchasing every single book that I buy to review. I'm also wanting to be very conscious of the changes with Amazon KDP and how using terms like ARCs and in exchange for and things like that that are required, you have to put a disclaimer that you got a copy for free, will also ding the review and it could get the review taken down. And I don't want to do that. If I'm going to do this to read and support fellow authors, I want this to be something that's actually helpful to them. So for those reasons, I won't be accepting ARCs. And I will be purchasing 1 or 2 books by an indie author every month through 2024 is the goal, and reading them and reviewing them here on the channel, as well as on Goodreads and Amazon, honestly and openly. And that means the majority will get 3 or 4-star reviews. I will not be posting reviews that are under 3-star reviews because I feel like as an author, I just don't feel right about that. So I will just not talk about the books that I can't rate. I will not give them a higher review just because, I don't want to leave someone a bad review. I just would rather not review at all. So I'm curious to hear what you would think about that. I know everybody has differences of opinion there. You can drop them in the comments if you'd like. Then as well, As you guys know, I have the Indie Author Blitzes here on this channel. I interview a lot of authors, and I never want my reviews to come across as biased. And I know there's always a chance that, okay, yes, you know this person, maybe you're going to look in their favor, even though I try to look at it as an editor. So for that reason, I will not be doing public reviews of books from people who have been on this channel within the last year, 2 or more times on panels, or 1 or more times on one-to-one interviews within the last year, just to keep it objective. That does not mean I won't be reading their books. It just means that I will not be doing public reviews of them, and instead leaving other readers to read their books and review their books. And you will hear excitement from me and book news from me when their books are launching and coming out, because a lot of these are books that I love by authors who are amazing, talented people. So I want to just clear that up. That I will be reading, I will be reviewing other books, and I will be reading for fun the books that I love by authors that I love too. But I won't be doing public reviews if you've been on the channel, because I just want it to be unbiased for everybody. So those are really the big changes from the review standpoint. I am getting back into writing a little bit. I had not written in a very long time. I wrote a few pages over NaNoWriMo before everything went downhill and I backed out. And I also wrote a little bit over the summer, but if I'm being just totally honest with you guys, when I lost book 3 of Lord's Gambit, I felt like I had to only write that. And I was so demotivated about writing it because I had lost the book that I didn't feel like I could write it. And I kept forcing it, and I kept forcing it, and my heart wasn't in it. But then I also didn't feel like I could give myself permission to write anything else. And I kept telling myself, oh, it's because you hit a wall, you know, your inspiration's gone. And that's not true. I was inspired to write all these other books. I just needed time to recover from the book that I lost. And instead of embracing that it's okay to need that window or that cushion to grieve the loss of the story that I'm going to have to rewrite, and the work and the time and the effort and the money that had gone into the file, which is gone, on all the edits and everything. Instead of recognizing that and using other books as a way to grow through it, I stalled myself and I poured myself into other people's works. And I took on a whole lot of extra work to make up for some things going on in my personal life with careers and health things within my family. So I found excuses to not write and blamed it on a wall that wasn't there, is the long and the short of it. And I think that if you're new in this journey, or maybe you've been doing this a year or two and you're starting to hit the slump that a lot of indie authors hit, this might be what makes or breaks you. That at some point you're going to hit a realization where you have to decide why you're doing what you're doing. Publishing is too much work to throw your heart and soul and money into for very little returns, unless it's genuinely a passion that you have, or unless you start treating your books like a business. Because as long as you treat your books like something that you're doing for fun, it will net results like something that you're doing for fun. And that's okay, as long as that's genuinely why you're doing it. But if you're saying that outside and what you're wanting inside is a career as an author, then maybe it's time to step back and readdress, just in full honesty between yourself and your books, why you're doing what you're doing. If you're doing this for a business, seek out a mentor, seek out some help to get there. And if you're doing this for fun, what are you doing on the side, to balance really that out so that you don't burn out on your hobby and what you love. So for me, last year was really about discovering who I wanted to be in the industry at this point in my life, at this time in my life. And I'm so much happier today than I was when I lost my file a year ago and everything came crashing down around me. And I feel like I can be much more open, much more honest, and much more at peace with the decisions I've made for my writing journey. And what that's meant is accepting the fact that my joy for work comes from helping other people with their books. And editing makes me super, super happy. But if I had to write on demand, my experience with book 3 of Lord's Gambit last year was a very clear indicator that at this point in my journey, with everything else going on, I would not enjoy it as much. having to write on demand and churn out books on demand as I would doing it because I love it. So I hope that this is something that you guys can understand or empathize with, even if you're not necessarily on this route and you've gone the business route. I'm super proud of my friends who have gone on and done super well, and they're making, living off their books now. And I'm so excited for all of you, and just really happy being a part of your journeys, but in a slightly different role. So I am still editing, but I've taken a big step back because there's been a career change for me. There's been a career change for my husband within the last 6 months. We've had a total life change and turnaround, and that's required more time and investment on both of our parts, and also less free money laying around to publish indie books. Because it is, it has cost money to publish, even if you get it down tighter. So I will be putting out less books in 2024 than I had gone in hoping to publish in 2023. It was a hard dose of reality right there. I do have book 3. I'm now out of my slump. I'm writing about little Olivia the otter and Freya, who's the main character of Lord's Gambit 3, and the pirates and Karma and all of them. I don't have a date because I'm giving myself the grace to write it at my own pacing with that one after really struggling to get back into it. And at the same time, I've given myself permission to work on another series that I had really been wanting to do, that you guys have been asking for if you've been following me. That would be Starfire Express, which I have decided to keep indie and not query, after deciding that I didn't know if I wanted to pursue writing as my business instead of just something I do because I love it. So Starfire Express is very heavily in the works. It is just head over heels in the drafting phases right now for the 2 books. It will be a duology, and The Godmother's already out. That's the prequel. It is not going to be as dark as The Godmother, the first book of Starfire Express, so don't worry about that. But I'm really excited just to get back into writing and find that I love writing again. And then I have one other project that I haven't really told anybody about, so I'm going to keep that sort of close to my chest for now. But essentially, I've agreed to submit a story to a project that's near and dear to my heart, and resurrect 2 characters from a book in a world I never thought I'd write in again. So those 3 things are what I'm writing today, right now. I'm also doing some revisions for Oracle of Life and Monk of Death to iron out their endings and certain parts in the middle that seemed really rushed to me, so that you guys can get the quality books with those that you deserve. So that's sort of what I'm working on this year from a writing standpoint, a publishing standpoint, and just relearning this industry, because a lot is changing in 2024. And as I learn more about it, I will be sharing it on my YouTube channel for you guys under my Indie Author Behind the Scenes Tools and Tips playlist. But yeah, so that's me just being very real and raw with you guys. I'm working full time. I am writing as a hobby on the side when I can. I do plan on publishing a book this year, and maybe 2, but at least 1 this year. And I will give you more information as I know about that. And as far as publishing on the side, so I work for an editing company for a day job. You guys know this if you've been following me. In the slow season, I would take gigs on the side from other writers, from Fiverr. And when everything went crashing down this fall within my family, I realized how off balance everything was, trying to juggle all the plates and all the things, the writing and the bookish appearances and the health and the kids and just everything. And I decided to really give myself some time to recover. And as a result of me being so tired, I was not able to put the level of effort into getting everything done in the timeline that I wish I could or should have. So if you're an author and you've been looking to me for edits, it's going to be a little while. I'm pausing my edits for a bit. I will be coming back to do editing in 2024, I think, at some point, but I just need some time to discover what's new in the family and make manageable expectations. So that way, when you guys do come to me with edits, I can give you a very firm timeline and give you the quality of books that you're looking for from me without having to let anybody down. So, thank you so much for bearing with me, whether that's been as a client or being a fellow author, coming on the channel, a reader who sent me a kind message. There have been days where I'd get a random message from someone and it took me from I'm never going to write again to I can still write. This is still worth doing. And I hope that if you're in that boat and you're seeing this, that it lets you know that you are doing something that is worth doing. And just because it may not be what you're doing for a career doesn't mean it's not worth doing. And just because you're not doing it according to your schedule that you wished doesn't mean it's not worth doing. It is worth doing. You are worth people getting to know. Your stories matter. And I truly believe that with 100% of everything that I have. So I'm sending you guys all the love and support and encouragement going into 2024. I hope that you get to read all the great books, write all the great books, and everything. And I will see you guys in the next video. Take care, everybody. Bye.